Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Square Eye Syndrome. I'm Ben Gill, and as always, I'm joined by Tom Hill.
Hey.
Dan Rudge.
Hiya.
And he's finally got out the cupboard. We don't know why he keeps going in the cupboard. Maybe he's a cupboard fucker. Maybe your mum and sister have been with him this week. It's Troy Salmon.
Oh my God.
That's dark.
Why does he keep going in the cupboard every couple of weeks?
You said everyone's mums and sisters are with me. What the?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I'm asking you just to check if bring your mum and your sister, or your brother, your father. Find out if they're okay. Are they with Troy? We don't know. He just appears every couple of weeks.
Hey, that's the darkest intro I think I've ever heard.
I know. What the hell happened?
I thought of it this morning on the way home from work. On the way to work. Okay, so how is everyone after that bombshell of an opening?
Sure.
I'm frisky today.
Shook.
Oh my God. Yeah. No,
Actually, I have something for you, just to start the evening off. Can everyone hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Nice. We're starting this podcast off with a bang.
Oh, nice.
Nice, Dan.
There you go.
So let's talk about Star Trek then. No, I'm joking. Obviously, that's
Star Trek.
no. Lovely, fantastic. Maybe you should do our theme tune that way. So soon.
Try and make an intro for it.
Actually, no. I am actually going into the studio at the end of the month.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Gonna record some stuff.
Do a Doctor Who Red Dwarf mashup.
Maybe we can record a theme song.
Okay, I will literally spend some of my recording time doing a Doctor Who Red Dwarf mashup and have a copy.
Then we'll see if the BBC will sue us for all of our money that we don't have. We don't get in front of them.
I'm not doing it for any profit whatsoever. It's just for fun.
For the BBC. Okay, so I'm going up first because I've got one hit. Thank you for that, there, Dan.
Hey, thought we'd start off on a good note.
So that's a good start. So I'm just going to go straight ahead. I'm now being a bit of a prick, but I'm just going to go first. I want to talk about Black Mirror.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because to be fair, we must really come back to this one day for like a big special and everything. But I just wanted to talk about this for my 15 minutes because, like, I absolutely think it's one of the best British shows we've ever done.
Okay.
I mean, it was originally on Channel 4. If people are not American, don't know, who aren't British, sorry, don't know. Black Mirror was originally a Channel 4 show. Did 2 seasons of Christmas special. Then Netflix got their dick out on the table, slammed it down, and obviously they went with the Netflix money, and now it's very big, internationally loved Black Mirror. But it's still British. Don't forget that. Ever forget that. It's a sci-fi anthology show about the dangers of technology. Obviously, I don't have to introduce it. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Black Mirror is.
Yeah, Charlie Brooker's a genius.
Yeah, he is a
Seconded. I was waiting to say that.
Yes. I have just watched his antiviral wipe video.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I just love how he's taking the piss at the coronavirus. Oh my God, he's brilliant. I wish he could do that all the time. I've missed his wipe videos, which is a satirical look at news, basically, for the BBC. And you can guess what the antibacterial wipe is. It's basically a piss take of news coverage of the coronavirus. Some would say quite racist. but
Racist? I didn't
a
think it was.
little bit. He does go a bit close. He basically says the whole of Asia is China. He does go there. You got to admit it. It's a bit racist.
Yeah,
See, I didn't actually notice that, but there you go.
But I found it funny, but my wife didn't. So we wrote a letter of complaint to the BBC. So, yeah. That's, but I didn't, she did, but
Okay.
obviously offensive, but okay. So I wanted to ask you guys, which is your favorite experiences of Black Mirror? What's your least favorite? So I don't have to do all the hard work here. Go for it.
Mine's incredibly obvious. It's the Prime Minister one.
Is that where he fucks a pig?
Yeah, because I happened to watch that episode of Black Mirror the week the accusations about David Cameron came out.
I was about to say this. I love how they predicted that was happening. Jesus Christ. And Charlie Brooker's going back and saying, we had no idea.
Yeah.
I love it.
So the fact that it came out in the same week that I watched that episode, beautiful.
And all MPs are pig fuckers anyway, so fuck every single one of you. Anyway, I mean, that's a dark start. I didn't like... I loved the one where the lady she loses a husband, and she ends up using his social media to create a clone, like a robot, that acts like him but isn't him. That's a heartbreaking episode.
Don't think I've seen that one.
Is it season 1 or 2? I can't remember, because the first 2 seasons I get mixed up.
See, I haven't watched them in order. I've just watched them sort of
random
random.
Yeah,
That's a really good one. I loved the one where they go back through memory with the eyeballs. Where they can go back and forth from memories.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fantastic idea. I don't like the politician one with the stupid cartoon character. Didn't like that one. I do love the White Rabbit, the one where she runs around the forest and you find out she murdered her child. And it's like some fucking theme park for murderers and stuff, for day out for people. Where she wakes up and she doesn't know what's going on, then you find out she gets brainwashed and they do it again and again and again.
To be honest, I don't remember that one. I'm sure I think I would, so I obviously haven't seen that one.
Yeah, my sister loves Black Mirror. Literally, I rarely watch Black Mirror. I only watch a couple of episodes here and there, to be fair.
Oh, I've wasted this fucking pig, haven't I?
No, not at all, man.
Toward me, to be fair.
You picked a brilliant show that we're going to come back to again.
Exactly, yeah.
So we have to go back to it for special. So, what's your favourite of the Netflix ones then? Because I think with the more money, they've gotten even cleverer with it. The Christmas special is fantastic.
I didn't realise it was on Netflix, so I haven't seen any of the Netflix ones.
And I haven't got Netflix, so I haven't seen any of the Netflix ones. I do have one time that I actually saw Mr. Brooker live, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been in so much danger of wetting myself as an adult.
Wow.
His delivery is perfect. And if you think about the level of timing he has with the TV show, live it's even more sort of off the wall and intuitive, and just you don't expect it, and everything catches you off guard. He's really, really good.
He's got a dark sense of humour, Charlie Brooker.
He does.
So we might as well talk about the wipe. What's it called? Wipe? The big wipe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's it called? The big wipe.
Oh.
The big wipe.
The big wipe. The wipe?
Big wipe, yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm remembering it as.
Yeah, and he's just very he doesn't hold no, he doesn't put
What
back
was
on
the
his...
other one? The TV show he did, the TV show about TV shows and about adverts and things.
Oh, crap. Yeah.
I don't know.
That was on Channel 4 as well. That was really good. I can't remember the name of it either.
Give me a second.
It's been so long since I've seen any of them.
But I just think you guys should go watch the rest of Black Mirror because it's got the best ideas I've ever seen in a TV show, and it's basically pisses away with the Twilight Zone reboot and the what was the other one? tells. They brought back the Twilight Zone recently, and this show and Inside Them Bananas is another anthology show. It's a bit different, but you know what I mean. They just both of those shows are just pushing the envelope so hard on how to do an anthology show now, and they're brilliant. They are all fantastic, both fantastic shows.
No,
Dead Set's
anything
never show.
Charlie Brooker touches is absolute gold. He knows how to entertain. He knows how to be very original with it. He knows how to capture an audience. He knows how to tell a message and tell a story all at the same time. I am very, very, very envious of his talent.
There's also Dead Set as well, which is the zombie.
Yeah, the zombie Big Brother house thing.
I love that. I
wish that would happen in real life to everyone that watched Big Brother and Love Island contestants as well.
No. Do not
you
put
can't do
Love
that.
Island and Big Brother together. Big Brother, the first series, was okay. Love Island has always been trash.
It's never been good.
The first series of Big Brother was all right. It was when they started trying to actually.
It's never been good, Tom.
No,
Seriously.
No, it was when they started deciding that people being drunk and stupid was what everybody wanted to see, and Big Brother became evil, which is basically from season 2 onwards.
Yeah.
It was shite. But season 1 was actually quite interesting. And I will stand by that statement. I hate Big Brother for what it became, but the first series was actually quite an interesting study because it was neutral. It was the people controlling it were not trying to get people in trouble, were not trying to force controversy.
Yeah.
And it was actually a reasonable social experiment, season 1. After that, they went, people liked when people were a little bit raunchy. We'll make them do that all the time. We'll give them a fucking sauna. We'll give them all these things that we didn't give them because we want people to either have sex or do drugs in our flipping house. But season 1 was actually an experiment. And actually looked like an experiment, whether it was or not. And I will fight you if you want to go on this.
I will fucking fight you anytime, mate. I'm not having it.
Whereas Love Island,
Big Brother, I'll fight any for Big Brother.
Love Island is utter trash and has been utter trash from the moment it was conceived.
Oh, I'm not arguing with you on Love Island. Love Island is
Love Island's complete garbage.
It makes me when people, because it's British, it makes me so embarrassed to be British.
Oh, the amount of people up here, oh my gosh, where I'm living now, oh my gosh, they love Love Island. They flipping love it.
Trash is trash. Doesn't matter where it's from.
Yeah, when I used to run, when I was a deputy manager of a house a couple of years ago, the staff all tried to watch Love Island at 9 o'clock, and I used to turn the TV off and remind them they were working. Just that not to have Love Island on.
Go on, Tom. Go on then.
You're saving them for yourself.
But no, Love Island, I just nope.
Yeah, hell no.
So,
anyway, sorry about that, Ben. I completely ruined your point.
We've already fucked my section's already fucked, so we might as well just move on to the next bit.
So who's next?
The fatalism of Ben.
He's giving up hope. His life is gone.
Alright, so
guys,
that's a name for the episode. The fatalism of Ben.
That's it. There you go. I did want to talk about Dead Set.
Go for it, man.
You should have it.
That's a zombie take on Big Brother, and like I said, I wish it would happen to everyone that ever watches Big Brother or is a fan of it. No, fuck you.
Hey,
And,
I'd be fine being a zombie. I'm grand.
But it's really good, and it's just, in fact, well, the good thing about it is everyone is up for a laugh. I mean, I give Davina McCall and the people behind it a lot of, like, even the makers of Big Brother, a lot of respect for at least realizing, like, it's a laugh. You know, they didn't take it too seriously.
Yeah.
They got to use music. A lot of respect. It's like a mini series. I think it's on Netflix and stuff. So go watch that. Just basically, Charlie Brooker, go watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for not watching Black Mirror. None of you. You've ruined my pitch.
By the way, it was called Screen Wipe.
Screen wipe.
Screen wipe, not the big wipe.
Well, you guys can all wipe your ass and say sorry to Charlie Brooker.
I don't think any of us criticised Charlie Brooker.
No, not watching
Ew.
Black Mirror. How?
Sorry, Mr. Brooker. We beg 1,000 pardons, Mr. Brooker. Overlord Brooker, please don't punish us.
I should. I can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to cancel this podcast and do it again. So I thought Black Mirror, yeah, that would get them talking.
Oh, we have been
Sorry,
talking.
it's been so long since I've seen it.
That's
Why
what
don't you bitches talk about child murder mysteries and whatever Dan talks about, because Dan's original. Go on then, the other two. Go on.
All right.
Go on.
Up next.
Fuck you and the horse you rode in on.
Yeah, screw you.
My horse is telling you to go fuck yourself too. Right, and it will piss against you.
No,
Go.
okay. I'm taking control of this. It's me now.
Yeah, take control. Take control.
We're losing it.
So, I've got a few things to talk about this week, actually. And the first one is kind of carrying on from that sort of children's TV show nostalgia trip I was on,
Cool.
Right.
because it made me think of one that I don't think a lot of people will know that much about. It was called Sharky and George.
Oh, there we go.
Nice shine.
It was a French and Canadian like dual language thing initially, and it was planned to be, and indeed later was, turned into loads of different languages.
The show's about, for people that don't know.
The show is about two private detectives who live in the underwater city of Chicago. They run their own agency. Sharky, who's the bigger fish, is a pink shark. He's got just a massive schnoz, and he's quite lazy. And you can, if you don't know him by the pink shark reference, then he also wears like this sort of fedora thing.
Yeah.
And George is his sort of almost adopted little brother, as well as being partner in the agency, and tends to be quite
Annoying.
in a very quiet way as well, if you know what I mean. He is annoying. He is like very sort of hero worshipy and also very sort of in your face pedantic, but
I remember him annoying, like Scrappy Doo levels of annoying.
Sharky and George. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, Crime Busters are the sea.
Hey, love it.
Aye.
Great
And
shot.
like they basically they go up against like villains, like mad scientist called Dr. Medusa or Dr. Jelly in the English versions.
Dr. Jelly.
The Red Lobster instead of the Red Skull, who was just a complete piss take. Who was also called Clonal Claw in the English versions.
Sounds like a sexual disease.
He was the German commander of the army of Black Crab. So like this is back when it's just literally we're still riding the coattails of everything German is bad.
It sounds like they took a load of drugs before they started writing this show.
They probably did. I mean, most kids' TV, you kind of have to. I just wanted to bring it to people's attention as something that was on at 6 o'clock in the morning on RTE2 whenever I was at my nana and granddad's house. Because when I was a kid, I didn't have a TV. And so this was usually the first introduction to TV on any holiday.
Yeah.
Was Sharky and George at 6 o'clock in the morning, having woken up specifically to watch TV. And scoff Cocoa Pops.
Yes, my man. Okay,
George.
Pops win.
Yeah, so I just wanted to throw just a little reference out there because it was pretty damn good.
What was
Written
your
by
favorite?
Michael. Sorry?
It's one of the best theme tunes of all time as well. I think a lot more people, I think it's well known, but when you start singing the theme tune to people, they know what you're talking about. Then they remember the shark and everything.
Yeah.
I don't remember very much about it anymore. I just remember that I loved it whenever it was on. It's
And it
now
had
on YouTube though, so I'm going to go back and have a look at it.
And that's the power of a good theme tune right there. At least you
Yeah.
remember.
Sharky and George, crime busters of the sea. Sharky and George, they'll solve any mystery.
It's jazzy, isn't it? Dun 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 dun.
Uh-huh.
It's quite
It's great. So anyway, moving on from that because limited time here, and I've got two things to talk about. I also wanted to bring to attention something which was a complete flop, and it's a shock to me that it was a flop because it was really high budget produced, and to my mind, really well done. It's a Netflix show called Marco Polo.
Ah.
Premiered in 2016. It was by the Weinstein Company and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, him.
Benedict
that
Wong
guy.
would have been probably the biggest name in it, who played Kublai Khan.
Okay.
Lorenzo Riquelme played Marco Polo. My favorite character is played by Tom Wu. He's like the martial artist, monk, slave. He's been blinded voluntarily. He's completely unbeatable in combat. He's just like this font of philosophy and old knowledge.
Oh, snap.
He's called Li Jinbao, but everyone in the court calls him 100 Eyes. Just
Sick.
awesome. He actually got a spin-off series as well,
Oh,
because the initial series flopped, but they had already started recording the first bit of the spin-off because they had been convinced it would be such a huge hit or something.
yeah. So how's it going? The spin-off.
I have no idea. Only 2 seasons for Marco Polo. It's supposed to be a lot more, but because it resulted in a $200 million loss for Netflix.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, actually worth a watch.
I saw so much adverts of that show. It's ridiculous. It was everywhere.
Yeah, it's very much worth a watch. It's kind of pandery in the places where you would expect it to be.
Mm.
The romance is sexualized when it doesn't really need to be.
Is it a bit Game of Thrones?
Everything's kind of a bit more eroticized than it needs to be. Everything's a little bit more over the top than it needs to be, but not so much. It's just, I don't know, American drama.
Is it like Game of Thrones levels where it's just unnecessary sex going on all the time?
There was no unnecessary sex
between
in Game
that
of
and
Thrones.
6 Feet Under.
I saw plenty in Game of Thrones where it's just naked
Yes.
people for
No,
no reason.
there was no unnecessary sex.
Look at Tom. Tom's going on
It
in
was
that.
all crucial to the plot. How dare you?
Exactly, Ben.
Tom, we can replace you next week, brother, if you're going to be nasty.
So,
Listen, man, I'm not the one who checks the ages, so let's just.
Oh, go on, Tom. Tell him. Tell him, Tom.
Here we go. I can't wait for the murder mystery in a minute. All right.
so
Good.
that's 2 done in twice as many minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
And the last one I wanted to talk about, this is a completely different reason for talking about a TV show.
Oh, wow. Let's go.
I want to talk about a comedy show that aired in Northern Ireland in 2009. It was called Find Me the Funny,
Oh,
and it was
God.
a precursor to Show Me the Funny, and Tom knows where I'm going with this now.
Oh, yes, I do.
The premise was that the top 700 and something up-and-coming comedians with ties to Northern Ireland were brought to audition before someone called Curtis Matthews, who's a really quality comic. He's not that well known, but he runs a comedy academy basically and teaches other people, and he runs comedy clubs and MCs and compares, and he's really good. He's also a contemporary of Bill Hicks and was a road buddy with him for a while.
Sorry, Bill Hicks, love him.
So him and a dude called John D. Northover, who's a guy who just makes these kind of shows where it's sort of reality competition performance television. Like, he's responsible for a lot of the sort of the find a new star for the West End kind of shows.
How do you solve a problem like Maria? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's literally that's him. He literally did that. And so the top 700 or so comedians with a tie to Northern Ireland who weren't necessarily big names yet, all went and auditioned, and 14 got through to be featured more heavily on the television show to be taken off in groups and individually across the series. And the top 6 would get to go to the Edinburgh Fringe. And I was one of the 14 that was picked.
Wow, congratulations.
So I wanted to bring this up just as an opportunity of sort of like how a TV show from a different angle, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because we recorded this over the space of a summer in 2009.
Yeah.
And it was a bunch of comedians, like me and a group of the others, about 6 of the others, all knew each other from the Northern Irish comedy circuit. And then there were a bunch that had sort of thrown their hat in the ring because they'd done something more comedy play orientated or had written something funny already and wanted to try their hand at something else. There was one double act. It was like a bunch of different people, a bunch of different backgrounds, but everyone with a really interesting story. There's a cancer survivor. There's a girl who was trying to basically save up enough for a civil partnership. There was a woman who was trying to get a second lease on life after feeling like she'd sort of left her youth behind.
Yeah.
Your normal sort of cocky, could be in a boy band, kind of very, very confident young guy, and a bunch of others, including probably my favorite Northern Irish comedian ever, a dude called Mickey Bartlett.
I've heard of him.
Mickey is on the circuit, I think, still. He does really natural, just straight off the cuff. It feels completely like he's not even thinking about what he's saying. He works really hard. And for him alone, I'd say that if you got a chance to watch this show at some point in the future, because I literally can't find it anywhere.
Is it on YouTube? Yeah, find it.
I
Find
no
the
idea if it's on
funny.
YouTube
Find
or
the
not.
funny site.
It used to be on YouTube because I found it years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can I just say, Dan, that the funniest thing about that show, and no offense intended, was your hair at the time.
Yep.
Don't need it.
Seriously, we're talking Krusty the Clown.
Oh,
Levels
snap.
of-
Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
That's the thumbnail for this
And I was
episode.
going through this phase of wearing ridiculous clothes as well because I was a comedian. And it was kind of, I was almost living my persona. I was trying to get as close to that as possible.
You kind of gone accidentally ginger as well, hadn't you?
Yeah, it was accidentally
that's the one,
sort
yeah.
of strawberry blonde. It had been deep blue, but the blue had just gone. Just overnight, one night it vanished. I don't know why. I think it liked me very much.
I have a question for you. You do realise now that you're saying you're a comedian, we're going to expect you to be funny every episode.
I'm not a comedian anymore.
I need you to be funny.
Ben,
You're the court jester of the syndrome
sorry.
now.
Sorry,
Congratulations.
are you saying I haven't been funny so far?
No, I'm joking. You have, obviously. So it's called Find the Funny, right? I said called Find the Funny earlier.
Find me the funny.
Find me the funny. Sorry.
It was really fun to record. I was disappointed not to get to Edinburgh. I was the last person eliminated before they went. The people ahead of me all deserve to go. Is basically the reason why I was the last person eliminated. They all deserved it more. They had done better.
I like that. What you just said. I like that. Nice. Humble.
You won't see that in the TV show, though. Edinburgh.
I gotta check it out now.
Just to tell non-English people, Edinburgh is not an island; it's in Scotland. Just in case you don't know where the fuck it is.
It has a festival which is worldwide famous. It's the Fringe Festival. People pay an arm and a leg to be able to actually perform at it.
And yes,
yeah.
And Northern Ireland is British. Just to any further confusion. There's a bit of confusion from foreigners. They still think of Ireland is part of the UK. This is
But
the thing.
Northern Ireland is part of the UK, but has
Yeah.
very strong ties to Southern Ireland, which is not.
And technically, Northern Ireland is not part of Britain. It's only part of the UK.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
it's not. It's not part of Britain. It's part of the UK.
Just to confuse you even further.
It is part of the British Isles, though, which
Yes.
includes Southern Ireland as well.
Yes.
You will not believe how many foreign friends of mine have asked me about that. It's just
Or you will not
weird.
believe how many people I nearly punched when I was at university because they kept telling me that London was the capital of the United Kingdom.
Who said that? What the hell?
Oh my god!
Mainly
Weird.
Americans.
That's just weird.
I once had an American tell me that Birmingham is the capital of England.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we're stopping Americans again after last week's loving. Hey, I blame Troy. Fuck you, Troy. Right, Troy, you're up.
Ben, you scumbag. All right, let's go. Let's do it.
Thank you, Dan.
No worries.
Go on, Dan. You sure you finished, Dan? You finished? You through?
Look, go for it. Go for it.
All right, let's do it.
You just can rip
Okay,
into
so-
me about being on a TV show and not being even funny with it.
Hey, I'm going to check it out. Hey, Dan.
I will find a thumb clip of your ginger hair and put it in the thumbnail. Don't worry. Anyway, Troy.
All right. Okay, so let's start this off. Something a bit different. It's a journey to the West in a way. You know what I'm saying? It's called The New Legends of Monkey. So it's basically it's an Australian New Zealand TV show. Literally, I just started watching it like yesterday.
Okay.
It's a really good show. It's on Netflix.
Yes, I've seen this.
Oh, have you seen it?
I've seen the trailer for it, and I was going to watch it today.
Yeah.
And then I forgot
trust
we had
me.
a-
Watch it.
Go for it. So, what's it like?
Okay, so let's just break it down first before getting to this. It's inspired by Monkey. Okay, so based off like the old scriptures and novels of Journey to the West by a guy called Wu Cheng'en. So old Chinese person from like literally the 16th century that was back in the day. And over time, like stuff like Dragon Ball Z, you know, stuff like Sun Wukong's based off like the Monkey King, based off those old scriptures back in the day. So all these characters and it's a New Zealand Australian cast. That's what it said. And you kind of think to yourself, it kind of works. When you watch the show, it's like, okay, they're like slightly Asian looking, some of the characters in the show. Because you got the Pig Z, which is like a pig god. Got Sun Wukong, the Monkey King. He has his staff. But it's kind of like got an Australian tint to him as well. And the way he talks and stuff like that. It's amazing. It's a good show. So I'm going to say right now, the action scenes are stellar. So I'm going to say right now, they're pretty good. I was surprised. I was like, damn, they got some good action scenes in the show. Yeah, there's some good martial arts in this show. I was surprised, and the CG's decent. I'd say that CG's pretty decent. And it looks like it's a big budget show. They put money behind it. That's what I'm gonna say for sure. They put money behind it.
Is it a Netflix original, right?
Yeah, it's a Netflix original. Yeah,
Yeah, so there we go.
yeah. So Netflix you can check that out as well. So the premise is basically it follows like a young monk. There's this girl who she worked in like a monastery like back in the day. She had like a master and two other guys who was in there as well. And they had abilities. They were good fighters. And this demon rocks up, goes, yes, where's the Monkey Kings? He's got like this, how would you call it? This,
Staff.
bro. Huh?
I'm trying to remember what I remember. It's like he rides on a cloud with a
Yeah. That's what he does anyway. He's the Monkey King. He's riding like a cloud. It's like Goku, Nimbus. It's like that.
That's Dragon Ball totally ripped it off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what it's based off. Son Wukong, innit? That's why I call him Son Goku.
Cool.
It's basically, he's got his staff with him as well, like the actual stick. You know what I mean? That's what he brings around him. It's the same character basically. So it's got like a little what do you call it? This band, the headband that he wears. It's a gold headband that basically gives him his abilities. So the demon steals that, and this young girl, she literally scours the village to try and find he's the source for his abilities. And she sings this lullaby, puts him to sleep, the demon to sleep, and the demon just literally wrecks this whole village. This village just gets wrecked. And she travels to this mountain because the Monkey King is trapped in a mountain. Yeah, he's been trapped there for 500 years. For some reason, I don't know how he did it. I've only watched like literally 4 episodes, so I haven't watched the full season yet. So he's trapped in this mountain for 500 years. She puts the thing on his head, puts the crown on his head, wakes him up, and this guy is cocky as heck. And I'm like, I love this show. He's such a show off. And I'm like, yes, that's how you do it. That's how Goku should have been in Dragon Ball Z, yo. He never did that. I was like, yes, this guy goes, I'm the boss, I'm the king. But this guy, he never shows his full abilities yet because he's literally just woken up, so he's kind of depowered right now. He's just got his little staff and he's doing little tricks, but he can't fly on the Nimbus Cloud yet. Can't do none of that. So some of his abilities are kind of tapped out for now. But literally, it's a really good show. The pig god, he shows up in this story later on, that midway through. He's always eating, as you'd expect. He's the pig god. He's always eating. So he kind of rides around with the monk, which is the girl, but she pretends to be a boy. She pretends to be this prophet, which she isn't. So she's the one she controls the Monkey King with the helmet, with the crown that he wears around his head. She can tighten it by saying a chant. So anytime he steps out of line, she says a certain chant. And he goes ah, ah, all the time. She controls him, and literally he has to do what she says. So there's a lot of stuff to do with the show right now, and he's on a quest for these scrolls. Everywhere that's around the West. That's why I joined to the West. That's where it kind of goes. He's trying to collect these scrolls that he left there 500 years ago. So that's the quest. So overall, it's like literally a great show. It's got demons, all that stuff. It's got gods and stuff like that. So I love these kind of things. Have you guys seen it or heard of it?
I've heard
the adverts.
a lot.
I know Ben has. But yeah,
I've heard the legend a lot. There's like Enslaved, the video game that it's based on. There's so many variants.
So much material on the
I mean, there's the Lost Kingdom, that one.
Yes, exactly. The Lost Kingdom. Yeah, the one was it Jet Li and Jackie Chan? Was that the one with it?
Yeah, Jet Li, Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
I like that movie.
That was a really good movie. Damn. But yeah, I forgot about it. We need to watch that again. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's so much legend. There's so much literature based on it. Like, from the journey to the West, literally everyone, literally from the East or even stuff, the Western stuff we got now is based off that old mythology. So yeah, hey, great show, and the setting is
all right.
Nice.
I'll watch it.
It's really nice. So yeah, check it out on Netflix. It's 2 seasons. I forgot. It's literally 2 seasons, but literally I think I had the second season, but I'm literally on the first season right now. So yeah, check it out. Anyone who hasn't seen it, check it out. So let's get into the second vibe. So part 2. There we go. We got. I don't know if you guys have talked about it yet, or have I? I don't really know. Nosferatu.
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. I was thinking to myself, you guys haven't talked about it yet, so I'm like, yeah, you haven't talked about Nosferatu. So, you guys heard of it? Yeah, you must have heard of it.
No.
What, as a TV show? No, I know the film.
No, the actual TV show.
This is interesting to me. Where is it? Where is it from?
Okay, so it's it's created by Joe Hill. Anyone knows Joe Hill, Stephen King's son?
Yeah, writer of so numerous things. Yeah.
Yeah. So like literally,
Lock and Key and lots of other things. Yeah.
So everyone knows Joe Hill. So he basically created this show, Nosferatu. Obviously, it's spelled different as well. NOS4, as in the number 4, A, and 2, the number 2. So they've kind of spelled it differently, just to like play off the old Nosferatu spelling. Back in the day. Oh, come on, man. What's wrong with that? That's all.
That's a load of crap.
But trust me, it is a great show. That's what I'm gonna say. Even though I first saw it, I was like, what the heck are they doing? But
okay, see, a name like that would put me off watching it, but if you recommend it, I will go and look at it.
Literally, I rolled my eyes as well when I first looked at the title. I was like, oh my, are you serious? You're gonna spell it like that? But when you actually see the show, it's like literally it's stellar. Because you got Zachary Quinto. Anyone knows Zachary Quinto is Heroes?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So he's literally Dracula. He's Nosferatu.
Okay, that's quite a good piece of casting. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Trust me, great casting. That's what I'm gonna say now. So he's literally like heading the show. He's literally he's got this mindscape. It's something called a mindscape. So some people in the show have abilities and gifts.
Right.
So there's even a scene in the show. They go to this special place where everyone with abilities goes to this special place where mostly evil people with these abilities. So we've got it's the Dead Lights. You've got Freddy Krueger in the Dream World. So you even see some of those characters rock up in this bar. I'm like, what the hell? Is that who I think it is? Is that Jason? Is that Freddy? I'm like, oh my God.
Have they actually got the copyright to do this?
Joe Hill somehow he manages to find a way to like literally tease certain characters in the show.
My dad's Stephen King, bitch. That's my
yeah, basically.
Well, I guess
Basically,
as long as you don't name them. then
Exactly,
you're
you
not
don't name them,
stating
you
it's
just see a little
definitely
glimpse of
them.
Yeah.
That's true.
So actually, you see little glimpses of him in the show. So basically, where he started off, he had this basically as a little boy, he got abused in it. His mum, he called her. She said, "You're a whore, you're a whore." Blah. That was his mum. When he was a child, and he got abused by this owner of a bar, of a Christmas bar. So he got basically he killed his mum, and all of a sudden these abilities started coming up out of nowhere. His eyes started to glow white, in kind of like a, you see that TV when it just goes. Tss, his eyes start to do all that, and he gained his abilities, and he calls this place Christmas Land. So that's his mindscape. That's his ability. He can create this place called Christmas Land, and he's got a special car. He calls it a Wraith. So also old school classic car that he rides around in, and he's very old school. It's from the past. And the way he uses his abilities, he drains these children, gives them a little candy cane, leads them into the car. So he has these little, how do you say, a Renfield. He has these little Renfields that he acquires and goes, "Yeah, do you want to see Christmas Land?" And they're kind of like childlike. Like, yeah. So he brings them around to basically, he uses them to gas these kids and bring them to his car.
He sounds like a paedophile.
They play with this so many times throughout the show. They play with that. I'm like, oh snap! But he literally, his car drains the powers from these kids. They drains the kids, and he gets younger because he basically ages from time to time. So he has to replenish himself by draining these kids, and they turn to like little mini vampires, and then he lets them run around in Christmas Land.
So that's how Jimmy Savile survived for so long.
I can't bother. But
And what level of you watched too much Black Mirror recently?
I know he's lost it. He's lost his mind.
Dark.
Flipping heck. Even the intro was like introing me. I was like, what the heck is he on about? Has he lost his mind? But at the same time, that's what he does. So basically, he creates this place called Christmas Land. His own daughter, he turned his own daughter into a little mini vampire, like literally. And his daughter ate her mom. It was crazy. So literally he's got his place called Christmas Land. He runs it, leaves the little kids there, and they basically just kill each other for fun, like when he's not there, in his spare time. And his main enemy in the show is this girl who rides a motorbike. She's got a mindscape of herself. She's got an ability where she can think of a place and a bridge opens up and she can just go there. But most of these things come out of
Does she need the bike then?
Yeah, that's what she does. The bike is almost like her conduit. You know what I mean? Like him in his car.
Oh, okay.
So so they kind of like use these items, totems in a way to like manifest their power. So that she used the bike and she goes, bridge opens up, bow, bow, bow. So that's why throughout the show, a bike might get wrecked. So she has to build another bike and kind of tune her abilities back into that kind of weapon. You know what I mean? So throughout the show, and there's another character in the show who's her best friend. And she had
You like a lot of these.
I love it. So I love these shows. I love the intricacies of these shows. I'm gonna finish off with a bit. So she has this special bag, and she puts her hand in this bag, and if you ask a question or if she asks her herself, she can reach into this bag and her arm just goes missing. Literally, she goes into another pocket dimension. It's crazy. Puts her arm down there, lights flicker, and she goes, "Okay, is something gonna happen?" Blah blah blah. She might say something. Then just literally these words just come out on the table. She puts it down, and it tells her what she wants to hear. But sometimes she has to decipher it. So it's crazy. It's crazy. This show is amazing, yo. This show is so good. And We've
missed the crazy choices of
This is epic, yo.
It makes me wonder what Troy does in his spare time, like just troll for like all of these weird shows that just center around. And I'm gonna be specific: gifts and abilities.
Yeah. Trust me, I watch some next level stuff. Trust me. But I love it. I love searching through.
So while we're talking about Supernatural, it's time to go to the other predictable section of the podcast, Tom's Crime Corner.
Go on then, Tom.
Fuck you.
Oh, cold out.
I'm not talking about crime this week.
It's a crime.
I'm Right, so anyone who listens to the podcast or was on the podcast last week knows that I spoke about Suits.
Yeah.
Now, originally I was going to speak about one of these two alongside that, but then I got distracted by the Grim and Tales with Rick Mail and started talking about that instead. So, Suits was written by a guy called Aaron Korsh. And so, just out of interest, I wonder what else he's been involved in the writing of. And two shows jumped out at me. One of them I fucking hate. The other one, I wouldn't say I love, but I enjoy enough that it doesn't anger me. So, these are the two shows I'm going to talk about this week. The first one, which is an absolute fucking dumpster fire, is Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh,
show.
Yes, is it American on Channel 4 in the morning?
It is American.
It's fucking awful.
Thank you very much.
I completely agree. It's fucking awful, but I fucking love it.
Shut up. The thing that gets me right is little things that really. There are some days I've seen the episode and I've gone, that wasn't so bad, but it's the pretentious shit like. At the end of the show, they put a big thing on the screen based on the comedy of Ray Romano. Why don't you just say written by, you pretentious fucking douchebag? My apologies. But it's funny on occasion, but it's not good enough. Also, the thing that really gets me is they think these characters are relatable. They're all arseholes.
They're all dicks.
He is the worst kind of husband. He wants to spend his time just watching sports and doing fuck all else. Lies. He's a complete fucking mama's boy.
Wow.
The only person I will not criticize in that show is Peter Boyle, who plays the dad, because he's a fucking legend.
Great comic timing for him. Always.
Yeah, but he is a proper comedian. He's been doing it for longer than any of those fuckers who think they're wonderful.
Wow.
And his timing is fantastic. He just hits it exactly at the right point, and his character is supposed to be an arsehole. He's the only one that they actually don't think is supposed to be a nice guy.
Yeah.
So him being an arsehole, I'm fine with that. But all of the rest of them think that they're good people and they think that it's relatable stories. Bullshit. They're bad parents, bad family, horrible siblings, and it's just not funny.
And it's on.
I'm sorry. I know people will come at me for this, but
I'm sorry.
This is my personal
entirely
opinion.
related to it on a personal family level. So
Come out, how you really feel, man.
No, tell us how you really feel, Tom. Don't hold back. I don't think
you know what? I'm usually quite nice about shows, but you know what? Everybody Loves Raymond is just one of those things that I switch on. I used to watch it. I tried to watch like a whole series, and because I used to get up early enough in the morning that it was on at like 7 a.m. on Channel 4. So while I was getting ready in the morning, it would be on.
Yourself.
But it's just no good. Like I say, Peter Boyle, who is a fucking comedy legend. If you've never seen Young Frankenstein, just no. But
Fucking more of your living room instead of watching it in the morning. It'd be more fun.
if you're blue, you don't know where to go to. Why don't you go where fashion sits?
Man, I like you. Don't make me come over there and fucking kill you. Don't sing that song.
why?
What's up, What's up?
This week, the name of this podcast will be, it's Tom and Ben just go to war. It's just.
Excuse me. What is your problem with that song and Young Frankenstein?
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm joking.
Oh, I'm about to say,
Anyway,
you know
right.
best.
So, it's so paint by numbers. And it's a problem I have with a lot of American comedies where the characters are actually not that likable. And it's hard to relate. It's hard. So if the comedy isn't, I mean, you watch something like Seinfeld, they're all dickheads.
Yeah, they're all
But
scumbag.
the comedy is good. You watch something like Frasier, they're not particularly nice people most of the time, but the comedy is so damn good. The performances are so excellent that it carries it. And the writing is so strong that the fact that they're not great people, you still feel something for them. But in Everybody Loves Raymond, it's Ray Romano trying to do jokes and trying to be funny because he'll make more money doing a TV show because people won't actually come out to watch him doing his stand-up gigs. That's fucking it. And yeah, maybe people are going to hate me for the feeling that way about it. Maybe it's a beloved show. I don't know. For me, it's a fucking dumpster fire.
I think you might have maybe one more person in a charm complaint, but that's it. I don't think anyone gives a shit about it.
Thank you.
I think we're safe to piss
Honestly,
off.
Anyway,
I'm not complaining about Charm. What do you mean? Charm's
so-
a classic.
Aaron Korsh was one of the writers on Everybody Loves Raymond. He was a minor writer on that show, which is The Connection. He was also a minor writer on another show that came out in the mid-90s that once again is a paint-by-numbers sitcom, but is a lot better.
Oh, wow.
And you might know it, you might not, because it used to be on at the same kind of time in the morning. It's a show called Just Shoot Me.
Ooh,
Right.
Does
Are you,
anybody
still
know?
talking about having to watch Everyone Loves Raymond? Just shoot me. Ha 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 ha. Yeah.
Never seen it, Tom.
No, it's a completely different show called Just Shoot Me.
Okay.
And the title is a play on words. Basically, it's this woman. She's a reporter, but she's sassy and she's an asshole a little bit. And she gets into a fight with her boss. And she ends up losing her job, not being able to pay rent. And her flatmate says to her, "You need to go and talk to your dad, because her dad runs a fashion magazine and is incredibly wealthy."
Oh.
He's also now married to somebody she went to school with, so it's a little bit dodgy. Somebody she was in the same year as, he's now married to. So and there's like running jokes in it that he's got a running competition about who's got the biggest car, the best this, best that, the cleverest with Donald Trump going on. And this is 15 years before Donald Trump showed the world what a mega dickhead he is. But anyway, so basically she hates her dad. She doesn't want to go and see him. She ends up going to have to ask him for money. He says, "I'm not going to give you money, but I will give you a job as a reporter for my magazine." And it's basically set in the world of fashion where everybody is backstabbing, and it's Just Shoot Me is the play is that oh, for God's sake, I've got to go and work for my dad, just shoot me. And also there's lots of things to do with taking pictures. Will you just shoot me, as in take the shot?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the cleverest show in the world, but it's quite a nice title to go with because it plays on both. And yeah, it's about her relationship. It lasted for about 7 seasons. It's got a few good actors in it. It's got David Spade. Don't know if you know him.
Yeah, David Spade.
Yeah.
It was one of his first roles.
Kind of mostly an office comedy.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm like, oh my god, yes, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. Yes.
So
I
you also
love that show.
Wendy Malick plays an aging supermodel who now kind of runs the fashion section of the magazine. She played she's the woman who ends up marrying Marty and Frasier at the end.
Oh.
So she's fantastic actress, really, really good. But like I say, these characters, once again, they're arsehole characters, but that's what they're supposed to be. And also, on top of that, the dad is played. The dad's a guy called Jack Gallo. The main woman is a character called Maya Gallo, who's played by Laura San Giacomo, who, well, she's been in loads of things, and probably her most famous thing is the film Sex, Lies and Videotape, which she's in, and she's fantastic in that. But she's done loads of good stuff. But her dad is played by a guy called George Segal, who was never that famous an actor, but he's in one of the best films of all time from my perspective, which is a film called No Way to Treat a Lady, which is about a guy who goes around killing old women.
Damn, I've got to check that out then. Flip. No Way to Treat a Lady. Flip.
No Way to Treat a Lady is George Segal and Rod Steiger.
Oh, snap.
Rod Steiger plays the murderer, and you know he's the murderer from the first minute of the film. And no, because they show you him killing the first victim at the beginning. But he's like a master of disguise. He plays loads of and George Segal is playing the kind of like the young up and coming cop who just happens to be on the call when this guy rings to say he's killed somebody. And then it's like a battle of wits between the two of them. It's a great film.
Bro,
Go on watch it
right now.
So good. But George Segal never gets the credit he should have done. He's an amazing actor, and he plays this old man trying to be young and hip really, really well. And it's the most cringeworthy dad in the universe. having a cringeworthy dad means I know exactly how the main character feels. Of oh my god, will you just shut
I
up?
know for a fact.
But yeah, it's like I said, it's not
Your dad doesn't listen, does he, Tom?
inventing the wheel. The funniest thing you'll ever come across, but it's an amusing show and it's worth the watch. It's hard to get hold of now. It was on Channel 4 for years and then stopped. I think it did about 6 or 7 seasons. I can't remember. But it was fun. And it was simple. And like I say, Americans tend to write unlikable characters. But on this
they love that.
because
It's an obvious joke about them being an unlikable country, but I'm just going to keep going.
No, I'm not saying that Americans are unlikable. They write characters that
No, that's
I'm not by any means saying that all Americans are unlikable. They have their fair
that's
share.
right. That is my opinion, and not Scott syndrome.
Fair enough. But yeah, like I said,
it's a joke. Right.
it's a short one for me today. I'd recommend it if you can find it. They're like 25 minutes an episode, and it's just it's easy.
Not bad, guys.
It's an easy watch, and it's got enough laughs in pretty much every episode to make it worth the watch. Unlike Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh wow.
Which is really shit. It's even shitter than The Big Bang Theory, and I didn't think that was possible.
They say there's like a 3-laugh test, and Everybody Finds Raymond. I might get that in a whole series.
But then again, I don't laugh at The Big Bang Theory as well, so I completely understand where you're coming
That's because
from.
you have no soul.
No, Big Bang Theory is not good either. I've never laughed at it.
No, that's fair enough. But you don't like Game of Thrones, so your opinion is always going to be
Tom, we can't take his opinion seriously after that. No, we can't do
But
that.
then again,
Troy.
Troy watches Charmed. We watched.
People in Troy. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Hey, my house is built in titanium. What are you talking about? Charmed is classic.
But then again, Tom, I'm calling you out. You fucking like Dracula, so there we go. Have that, son. Right.
Dracula is one of the greatest characters of all time.
Dan, I will find something to stick the middle finger up at you one day. So far, good job. I'll find something. Maybe I'll just find a thumbnail of Ginger Dan and just stick it in the thumbnail for the podcast.
I'm sure I've got a picture that I can send to you.
That'll be my revenge to Tom.
Everyone thinks I'm embarrassed by that, but that was literally the high point of my life.
It'd be nice to watch.
See, it doesn't affect him.
It'd be nice to watch it.
No, it was good. I remember watching it at the time because Dan sort of said to me, I'm in this show. So I was like, oh, yeah, cool. So I actually sought it out at the time.
Yeah, off being in that show, I basically had a career in comedy for like 2 years.
Damn.
But I'm still the only person here who was actually offered a Edinburgh show and turned it down.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's Dan's. It's our professional celebrity, Dan.
Professional. I'm a fucking Z-list celebrity if I am a celebrity. I don't think I qualify anymore.
Still makes you more famous than anyone, Big Brother, mate. Anyway, so that's it for this week. What a weird episode. I love how all your guys' stuff went well and you fucking sabotaged me, you fuckers. Anyway, so, thank you for watching us. Listening to us. You can't see us. We don't want to see you anyway, you ugly fuckers. Thank you very much. Tom, what is the email for people to get in contact with us on the show? Because I can't be bothered to find where it is.
Square Eye Syndrome 2020 at gmail.com.
Lovely. We're working on iTunes, but iTunes has been a little bitch. We will figure it out. We're on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and all the other places that aren't famous. So we're working on that. So that's goodbye from me.
Bye from me.
Bye for me.
And goodbye from the aging supermodel who now runs the fashion section.
So we've got famous people on our podcast now. All right. Bye-bye.